Imagine this. You're sitting in your classroom, getting some grading done, but then all of a sudden, the floor starts to vibrate, there's a weird hum in the air, and then boom! And what appears before you? The teacher time machine. If you could get in this time machine, go back in time to when you first started teaching, what advice would you give yourself? That's the question that we'll be asking educators in this series, because it helps us remember how far we've come on our teacher journeys, and it might help some new teachers to hear some advice that you can only learn through years of experience in the classroom. In this episode, I interviewed EVERFI teacher Jessica Lucier. She's a health and wellness educator in Massachusetts. Let's hear what she had to say. Thank you for getting into the teacher time machine with us, Jessica. Now that you are here in the time machine and you are going back in time to the beginning of your career, what advice would you like to give yourself at that time?
When I first got in, I obviously had no clue. I never took teaching courses. I didn't really know how to write a lesson plan, all of that stuff. But with going back on it, I feel like I was so trying to be focused on this paperwork part, I gotta have these lessons and that, where I was missing out, I think, on really trying to connect first with the students. And as I've gotten comfortable in my own self standing, obviously you're standing in front of a room, and at that age, they're probably about the most judgmental people ever at teenage years where, my first few years, I'm they're looking at me, they're gonna make fun of what I wear. I'm thinking I'm back in high school or middle school. And then it just was no, you know what I mean? The confidence, it was I gotta be confident when I'm standing up here because they're gonna see that and that's gonna make them feel more comfortable, in talking to me.
I think a lot of people who have worked in schools can relate to that experience. What do you think actually helped you build that confidence at that stage of your career?
What helped me was I had landed within my first year teaching. I was the girls' basketball coach. So that really helped me because then I was mainly teaching underclassmen, but then my team were these juniors and seniors. And it was just I got to experience being with the kids. And then I went on to coach softball. And so that became a whole, to me, getting involved with something outside of the teaching was key. And I think that's what connected me. And then once you got to meet them, then the other kids are oh yeah, coach. And then I became a class advisor for 4 years once I stopped coaching. And I feel being part of some type of advisor group or whatever it can be, that, especially those first few years, that's gonna help you get to know the kids on a different level. And not just your teacher, you come to school and you leave. And then the kids, that's where you really, really make the connections. I would tell them, go back, if you're a first year, try and get on some kind of advisor group, whether it's through sports, whether it's through drama, arts, whatever a club is, see if you could be part of that club.
Thank you so much to Jessica for sharing her insight with us. What about you? If you could hop into the teacher time machine, go back and give yourself some advice at the early stage of your career, what would it be? Let us know in the comments and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/EVERFI K-12.